What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for Abbott Elementary season number 4, episode number 7, I believe this is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split since it was 2 different episodes, I'm gonna split the episodes up. So yeah, episode number 7. This episode was titled Winter Show. Good episode, you guys. Loved it. So before we do get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode of Abbott Elementary, shall we? Now, also, if you guys notice, I'm a little sweaty. Your boy just hopped out the shower, so that's why I'm a little misty. So this episode, they're putting on a Christmas show. This is going to be their first annual Christmas show. I was like, okay, cool. Janine is doing a step show. And I was like, okay, how did that come about? Janine said, I'll tell you. So Janine said that she basically volunteered herself to do a step show when Ava was unavailable. I said, so that's the only reason why you're able to do this is because Ava wasn't around to crack on you and, give her little jokes. Okay. So we see as, Janine has a song for the kids to do the step to. And the song was Run DMC, Christmas in Hollis, right? So the kids are listening like, one of the kids said, who's Run DMC? I just said, what now? Run that back. And they didn't even know the song because they started rapping it. I'm not going to rap all the song. I'm not going to rap the song because I don't need them problems on my channel. So, it's Christmas time in Hollis, Queens. Mama's cooking chicken and collard greens. That's all I'm going to give y'all. That's it. So, but Janine kicked it off. Then Jacob came in and he did, it's Christmas time in Hollis, Queen part. Then Ava joined in, and then you see the people walking behind them, and it's older. It's people that's, from a different generation than these kids. And it's like, wow, when you think about, because, when you think about it, a lot of these kids don't know some of the musical acts that I grew up on, right? Like, and then also, like, when it comes to some of these new age kids, I don't know. Like, I have to ask my little nephew, like, who is this thing? Who is this? Like, my cousin and I, we were watching a movie this past Thanksgiving, and I didn't know who Post Malone was. I ain't never saw Post Malone. I barely know the man's music, and she was like, "Ooh," she was like, "Your cousin will get you." He's actually, I call him my nephew, but he's biologically my cousin. But me and his mom are like this. We're like brother and sister, so that's why I say nephew. But she's like, "He gonna get you if you don't know who Post Malone is." I'm like, "Girl, I don't know who that is." And never saw the man. Here's, like I said, I ain't never saw him, but I do know who. I know I've heard his name, but I've heard his name. I knew he was white. I just ain't never really heard his music like that, but neither here nor there, right? So we see Barbara. So Barbara is teaching her kids deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. But instead, her kids are saying deck the halls with bells of. She's like, no, babies, it's not bells, it's boughs. And it's the way that Barbara pronounced bowels. I was like, Barbara, it almost sounds like you're saying bowels, like, a bowel movement. But one of the little girls was like, Mrs. Howard, what's a bow? And Barbara moved on, right? And then we see that one of Barbara's her students, she is, I believe, what the hell was that? Never mind. Maybe it was something outside. But one of Barbara's students, I believe she's Muslim, so she doesn't celebrate the holidays. And so Barbara just ended up giving the little girl a snowflake. I was like, oh, okay, Barbara. So Melissa, we see her and she's just talking about what she's cooking for Christmas dinner, right? And Jacob, Jacob lives with her. So Jacob is talking about him being there. She's like, Jacob, you're on a wait list right about now. I was like, damn. And then Gregory said something to her. She's like, when are you getting a haircut? Because Gregory ain't got a haircut. I was like, ooh, Gregory, when are you getting a haircut, my buddy? Because this ain't cutting it. So we find out that Jacob's little brother named Caleb is going to be coming to visit him, right? So then we move to the gymnasium, and Barbara's kids are on stage, and they are, doing a rehearsal. But there were two little kids who were messing with the baby who, her family doesn't celebrate Christmas, and they were just teasing her. And I was like, wow. When you think about it, kids are just very ruthless at times, right? It's very ruthless. I remember when I was in school, and there was this one girl in my class. I won't say her name out of respect for her, but there was this one girl in my class. We all knew she was less fortunate, right? I don't believe she was homeless, or was she homeless? I can't remember if she was homeless or not. But summing it up, she was less fortunate, right? So every day for school, we know that she wore the same clothes every day because, one, she had a big family, like she had a lot of siblings. So I guess their parents couldn't afford a lot, right? So she wore the same clothes to school. And there would be some kids who would tease her about, oh, you wear the same clothes every day. Oh, you smell, right? And me and my friends didn't do, like, my friends and I, we were friends with her, and we never talked, like, that was just something we never discussed, because she's just she's another person, and she couldn't help the fact that her family didn't have anything. And I just didn't like that. As a kid, didn't like it. We would call it out too. But yeah, Barbara went down and told the little kids to stop teasing her, right? So her wheels are ticking, because the little girl does want to participate, but unfortunately with her family's religion, she can't, right? So we see Ava. So she went to go see Jacob, and telling Jacob that, hey, a strange man came up here today, said he was looking for you. His story didn't really check out with me, but I gave him a visitor pass anyway. I said, Ava, do you hear what you just said? His story didn't add up, but you gave him a visitor pass anyway. Is it because the man is of this persuasion and not this one? Like, what is it? Is it because he's white and he's not black? My hands are like, we're going to talk about that later today, because people are talking about Serena Williams and the fact that they think that she's bleaching her skin, right? And she said that sunlight. You guys do know, I think she meant the lack of sunlight, because she doesn't play tennis as much as she used to. So she's not in the sun as much as she used to be. And even me, I'm not in the sun as much as I used to be. I work from home every day. And you see, this is light. And then you can see the ash too. And look at my face. My face is not as dark. Neither here nor there. I always get sidetracked with the videos. So the visitor was Jacob's brother, Caleb, who is a personal trainer, right? So then we see Barbara. So Barbara came in telling everybody, like, hey, she came up with an idea. It's a really good idea, but I don't know how to execute. The execution from Barbara was what was lacking, right? So Barbara came up with the idea to be inclusive, so that way her one student can actually participate. So this won't actually be a Christmas show. It'll be a winter show. And I was like, okay, cool. What the hell are you gonna do in a winter? I was thinking to myself, what the hell are you gonna do in a winter show? Like, how are you gonna, what kind of songs are you gonna sing? Because I mean, every song around this time of year is Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. Every song that you listen to. Oh, I want y'all to tell me, what is y'all's favorite Christmas album? Yeah, we can say album. Growing up, I used to listen to the Temptations Christmas album. My mom wore that thing out every Christmas. There was one Christmas I hid that cassette tape. I love the Destiny's Child Christmas album. All I Want for Christmas, I like it, but it's annoying. at times. But let me know what you guys, let me know. Let me know in the comment section, you guys. So Ava, she already decorated the stage, and Ava don't want to take down her decorations. Janine got her kids stepping to Run DMC, and she don't know no other song to get them to step to, right? So it's gonna be a problem. So then we see Melissa. So Melissa done took over the entire school, right? Every refrigerator, she is storing food in it. She stored food in the teacher's lounge. She's storing food in the cafeteria. She's storing her food everywhere. And so Mr. Johnson saw her, and Mr. Johnson was like, well, I got a mini freezer. She was like, oh, thank you, Mr. Johnson. He said, I wasn't offering it to you. I was just telling you. I was like, okay. So then we see as Jacob is introducing everyone to Caleb, right? Everyone is kind of hitting it off with Caleb, and Jacob is in his feelings about that, right? So then we see Tariq. Tariq went to Barbara's classroom to tell her, hey, the parents, they're not too happy about the fact that you are taking Christmas out of the show, right? And so Janine came in, she was like, Barbara, I have a list of songs that I've come up with. And once again, every one of them songs that Janine has, Christmas is involved in some way, somehow. So that ain't gonna work. And so Barbara's like, well, maybe we'll have to create a new song. And I was like, oh, a new song. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm here for it, right? So then we see O'Shawn. He's back at Abbott helping with Ava's projector, right? And Ava, you like O'Shawn. Ava likes O'Shawn. I'm starting to see it now, right? She pretended like he annoys her, but he really don't, because when she walked away from turning around, you can see that face kind of light up. I was like, ooh, Ava got a crush. But what happened to old boy that she was dating? Was it Andre Iguodala? Who the hell was she dating last season? She was dating a basketball player, and I can't remember which one it was, but I guess they done broke up, huh? So O'Shaughnessy's baby, telling, first of all, why Ava got almost a life-size angel on this tree that resembles her. I said, only Ava, right? But he's trying to tell her what she could do to, go with the winter spirit, right? So after that, we see Jacob. So Jacob is teaching his class, and Caleb is interrupting the class, and one of the little kids invited him to the podcast, right? So then we see Barbara with her students and this song that she done made up for these kids to sing. And these kids don't even know the damn song. I was like, oh God, Barbara, this is not going to go the way that you want it to go. And then we see Janine, and she's freaking out because she needs to now learn these steps. She needs to create steps for this song that Barbara's created. I was like, good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. I mean, and it's Barbara. We know how religious Barbara is, so I'm wondering what lyrics are in Barbara's song. So then we move back over to Melissa. So we see, like I said, storing her food. Oh, I already talked about that. I got ahead of myself. Neither here nor there. I don't know how I got ahead of myself. But I got ahead of myself with Mr. Johnson and Melissa. So Gregory had asked Mr. Johnson, so you allowing this? And once again, we cracking on Gregory's hair. He's like, and when you getting a haircut? I was like, yeah, Gregory, this hair ain't doing it. So we see as Jacob is, freaking out about Caleb. And Gregory was talking to him. He's like, do you want to, kind of vent to me? So it's kind of like, it's a sibling rivalry. But Jacob feels, and I think it more so spans from their parents. I think Jacob feels that his parents treated his brother a lot better than they did him. And the crazy thing is, Jacob is the oldest, Caleb is the baby, right? So that's where Alaska Medical, I'm sorry, you guys know I'm still working, but Alaska Medical, I don't deal with medical stuff. Why y'all calling me? So when Gregory was talking to Jacob, Jacob was venting to him, right? And Gregory was like, why don't you come with me to, where we record the podcast? So they're listening to the podcast because at one point Jacob did bust into the podcast because he was talking about the fact that Jacob went to the prom alone, bought a corsage for himself, and he went by himself. And Jacob came in there and was like, stop. So he stopped it. And, you know, he was chastised. Well, yeah, he was definitely chastising his brother, right? And I was like, and you could definitely tell that his brother's feelings were hurt, because you can really see that his brother just came there just to see him. And Jacob was like, I haven't been home in years. And you wonder why. He was like, because we changed your room into a gym. He was like, that's part of it. And I was like, okay, cool. Not really cool, because I felt bad for Caleb when Jacob was talking to him. I was like, ugh. Because like I said, you can definitely see that Caleb really came there to see his brother, spend time with his brother. And so Gregory took him, he listened to the podcast, and Caleb said nothing but positive things about Jacob. He get to the part where he was talking about how cool Jacob was because he went to the prom by himself. He bought a corsage and he went by himself. And then Jacob bust in. He was like, oh, and that's when you bust in and just messed the joint on up, right? So we see as Jacob found Caleb and he apologizes to Caleb, and Caleb apologizes to him and told him like, I'm not mom and dad. And so they're good, right? So then we get to this winter show, right? So Barbara had said to her students, she'll just sing the song. I was like, but Barbara, ain't this for the kids? Ain't this for the kids and the parents? So Barbara get on that stage and try to sing, and baby, that voice cracked. I was like, ooh, Barbara, your voice is gone, sister. And she tried it again. I said, nah, ma'am, that voice is gone, Barbara Howard. So Tariq came up and he told the kids, like, sing the song that you guys had prepared, right? And I was like, oh, is this gonna go well? And then he told the steppers, do your thing. I was like, this is gonna be organized chaos. And I felt like it's gonna be organized maybe for the steppers, but not for the little kids. But, you know, the kids started singing and the steppers started stepping, and it was good. I was like, okay. I was a little nervous about how this was gonna go, but it went very well, you guys. So, the end of the episode, Gregory went to go get his hair cut, right? And his barber is out of town, so he got someone else that's cutting his hair. And the barber that is cutting his hair, he was like, you know, his daughter is a principal at a school. It's called Abington. And Gregory was like, Abbott? He was like, yeah, that's where Ava teaches at. That's where Ava works at. So we've met Ava's father. And if you guys don't know who Ava's father is, if you guys watch Greenleaf, he played Bishop on Greenleaf. Keith has played on so many things, but what? Keith David, what all has his resume is extremely long, but the biggest thing, it ain't the biggest thing that I know, that's not really the biggest thing that I know him from. It's the most recent thing that it's the most recent thing that he was in that I watched, which was Greenleaf. He's also been on, he was in Nope. Okay, he was in Nope. Yeah, he's been on he has a long resume. But yeah, you guys. All right, you guys, so that was the episode. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.